And I got to ask you, whether it's your, I would assume your mom, but maybe your dad, when they come out, I know time is tough, but is there a meal? Is there something where it's like, Mom, I need this. I only get it when you come out. Is there a go-to food that you want made when they visit?
There is. There's my grandmother had this chicken piccata recipe. So every time my mom comes out, it's like I don't even have to ask for it. She makes it right away. Every time I go home, it's like the first meal, like our whole family eats it. So it's like a chicken piccata. And then I don't really eat too many desserts like by myself. So of course she comes out and she makes a dessert, just knowing that.
I just remembered, Jason, I was going to forget to ask him, maybe the coolest thing from my perspective about your parents being on TV is we always watch the games with my son. And as you know, my son is a little bit of a redhead himself. You guys, you literally look like my son in like 12 years. It's kind of ridiculous. Same exact hair, same exact style of hair, but my wife and I have no red hair. So we always joke with we have this running joke with my 13-year-old boy that maybe, I don't know, maybe you are, maybe you're not ours. We don't know. We'll figure it out. And then we see your parents on TV, and all of a sudden he goes, oh, well, they don't have red hair either. Because the joke is always, where did it come from? So it's the same thing. Where's the red hair come from on your side?
That grandmother with the recipe, she was a redhead. They skip generations. So it's my grandmother had it, and me and my younger sister both have red hair. So I got a brother and a different sister that don't. Neither parents do. So, but the red hair, so maybe my kids won't have it, but maybe grandkids.
Go ahead, Jason. Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say you get another crack at the Lakers. One side part of that too is we don't know if LeBron's playing or not. I know he was out the other night with non-COVID, but I'm just curious, when you're established, you've been in the league long enough, but sometimes do you ever get in a moment where you're on the floor going, man, I'm guarding Kevin Durant, or LeBron's out here, or people that you maybe even idolized or followed before, and you're one of them, but it's still got to be a weird feeling to think about these guys when you're in college or in high school, and now you're sharing the same floor with them.
Yeah, that all factor, it's drowned out a little bit, but I mean, you're still aware of who you're playing against. My rookie year, it was like those guys were on the court, and it was like, you're wide-eyed as they're running on. I think for me, I noticed it more, and this is a lot of things. Like, I noticed the crowd, noticed my environment, noticed other players more in warm-ups, and it feels like when those guys, there's like a different kind of roar when there's like a different level of player that runs out of the court. And LeBron is in that boat. Kevin Durant's obviously in that boat. Steph Curry's in that boat. Those are probably the big three in terms of like guys that fans come out and there's like a big superstardom, one of those moments. So obviously LeBron is one of those. The Lakers, people know they're all over the place, whatever arena you're in. Usually the Lakers travel pretty well. I was in college and like went to a Wizards Lakers game, and half the arena were Laker fans, and same thing in Atlanta. And it's better in Sac because we're at home and everybody tries to drown them out, but there's still like they run on the court, and there's a different kind of like cameras are out and people are roaring or cheering when they run on. So once you get in the court, though, once the game starts, it's like, man, I'm trying to win.
Wrapping up with Kevin Huerter on the Kevin Huerter Show, brought to you by Jiffy Lube. Did want to ask you this, and never want to get into it too deep because I don't want to cost you money, but we've been talking a lot about the referees, and it's an easy out. The refs suck, this, that, whatever. But one thing that it seems fairly consistent, whether it's in Kings games or not, is the emphasis they said they were going to put on the kick out on a jump shot. And there's been a couple of situations. There was one with Markkanen the other night where these guys are kicking out, making contact. I know that happened with you, and the foul is still being called. You have preseason ref meetings. I know they talk to you and all that, but as a player, is the inconsistency frustrating, or is that more something fans see and you guys kind of ignore?
Yeah, it's tough. I know the different thing is obviously each ref, they're taught the same way, but it's obviously up to each ref to see the game and how they see it. And my thing is the rules got to be consistent. And I think a lot of times on jump shots, as a shooter myself, I feel like I'm pretty aware of what the rules are, just because if I get fouled, I want to know if it's a foul or not. If if I'm falling forward and you say I kick my legs, I don't know that either I'm not supposed to kick my legs, or if I'm falling forward and someone hits my wrist or my hand as I'm shooting, I want to know what the rule is so then I can argue or not accordingly.
Right.
And it's just tough. A lot of those are they're trying to protect jump shooters. You really have to, especially with, I think it all started the Kawhi Leonard play back in the playoffs. Now, what point was it? 5-6 years ago. So I think the emphasis started there, but it feels like every year they pick one single player, one single rule, and they're just overly they really just look out for it over the course of a game, whether it's a foul or not. And we've been hit a lot the last couple of games, fouling jump shooters, and I don't know whether they're fouls or not, but it definitely seems like it's something that they're emphasizing.
All right. Well, you got a meal to go eat with your parents. Good to see the family in town, and you got a couple of at least a day off, and then this Saturday night, Lakers, Kings. It's going to be pretty rowdy. So get out there and light that beam, and let's see if we can't get you that chain, man. I want to see that swag.
Yeah, we will. Yeah, I'll rock it. I can throw it on. Maybe not out the court, but yeah, it'll be fun. Obviously, another good test for us. So we'll get the dub.
Awesome. We'll talk to you next week. Thanks, brother.
Cool. Thank you.